Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day. Don't go with the crowd. It's difficult to grow if you rely on outside gratification from people that don't understand what it requires. I think that a lot of people that have the gifts and talents stop on the road of success because other people are telling them to slow down. And because a certain amount of success takes a certain amount of work and speed and sacrifice. Now, do I think that some of that a person could get out of whack and it could become unhealthy? Yes, I do. This is why you can't just take a piece of what I say. You have to go and look at how much have I told you to take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit and yourself. How many times have you heard me say that? So yes, if it's only the pursuit and it's not pay yourself first, can get it out of whack. That's right. How many times have I said in your schedule, put the big rocks in first, put the time that you need in with your family or wife or significant other or whatever it is in there, and then build everything around that? How many times have I said that? Okay, now once we get that out of the way, because there's 168 hours in a week. So you could sleep, you can invest into yourself, you can invest into your family and still have a bunch of time to grind. Because the good news is you're in control. The bad news is the world don't pay for average. And greatness is built by consistency, consistently doing what other people are unwilling to do as often as you possibly need to, going further, the extra mile, 2 extra miles, harder, faster, stronger, more consistently. And while you're on that journey, you start to pull away from the norm. You start to pull away from the crowd. And when you pull away from the crowd, you look weird to everybody else. No different than if we say, hey, let's say what you're trying to do, who you're trying to be, what you're trying to become, what you're trying to accomplish is something that people that set out on the same journey as you, only 10% of them accomplish it. Only 5% of them accomplish it. The bigger you think, the bigger you want to go, the more you want to accomplish. Supply and demand. Supply goes down, demand goes up. Less people are capable of doing it consistently that good for that long. And so it shrinks. And now it's like only 1 out of 100 can do this. Only 5 out of 100 can do this. Only 10 out of 100 can do this. But really, anything that you're going to do great, I would say less than 10% for sure of people that say they want to do it are going to be able to do it. So if 100 people show up in black at a party and you show up in yellow, 5 of you or 10 of you, you look weird. You stand out. You look strange. And so the party in America typically is average. That's the party. I don't want no part of that party. And so when I don't want no part of that party, now I look weird. I'm wearing a different color. Now I look strange. And so what I mean by that is when you're on your journey and you're pushing and you're progressing and you're doing what it requires and you're doing what is necessary, all of a sudden the people that are living average, that don't understand what it requires, are saying, Slow down. You got to enjoy yourself. Don't overdo it. This and again, I agree. What I'm telling you is you don't got to pick and choose. You just need more discipline and more planning, more preparation. But there's definitely going to be sacrifices. Do you think you get to go to the top for free? Everything in life is trade-offs. You got to give up to go up, period. If you're done giving up, you're usually done going up. You're on your way down. I didn't say give up your life. I didn't say give up your kids. I didn't say give up your marriage. I didn't say give up your faith. I didn't say give up your family. Those are all excuses for people to make themselves feel better as to why they're not chasing and going after their goals and dreams. I'm telling you, don't listen to the naysayers. And here's the ones that are the most dangerous. It's not the haters. It's the lovers. It's the spouse. It's the girlfriend. It's the boyfriend. It's the grandma. It's the people that care for you that maybe don't understand what it requires in order to win at that level. Most people, not everybody, when I looked at, man, what did it take for me to play high school football, and I'm small, at the level that we played at and win a state title and me be a captain, and what did it take for me to be a 4-year starter in college at my size and a captain? What that took, I would describe as my grandfather, who was married to my grandmother, not my blood grandfather. He was the one that when I would get punched in the face and I came home with a black eye and my mom and my grandmother like crying and putting ice on my face, he's telling them, "That's okay, leave him alone. He ain't gonna die. He's fine." And this is the same man that, man, I would hate it when I would lose in sports and people in my family would say, you're a poor loser. He jumps in and he says, "Show me a good loser, I'll show you a permanent loser. Don't let him get comfortable losing." This is the man that dropped me off in the area, in the gym where I'm the minority and it's a rough environment. And he's like, "Yep, that's exactly where you need to be." Those are things that force me to be, I'm not saying I'm the toughest dude in the world, but those are the things that force me to start to become mentally tough. That would serve as my biggest ally on the come up in sports and in business, that I could take a beating. And the people that love me, most of them didn't want to see me with a black eye. Most of them didn't want me to go to that place, didn't want me to play that sport, didn't want me to this day. "Oh, Simon, be careful. You're 40 years old. Don't want you to get hurt in jiu-jitsu. What are you doing? Why are you competing? Just stay comfortable." I get it. I'm a parent. The hardest thing in the world for me sometimes is to discipline my kids. The hardest thing is gonna be, how do I get my son to get punched in the face? I don't want him to, but somebody's gonna do it. Sometimes something's gonna happen. I got to get him used to some of these things. And so that's love. And so I think a lot of the people around you that you got to be careful of are the ones that love you, care about you, but have not learned 100% what it requires to win at the highest levels. If you're trying to win at the highest levels, you have to only listen and go with the crowd of people that win at the highest levels. Because usually the people that are winning or have won at the highest levels are telling you the opposite, or they're encouraging you of like, yeah, this is what it takes. The people that won at the highest levels were never the ones telling me, yes, Simon, we feel bad for you. You had to work on the weekend. You had to work Saturday. I feel bad for you. You had to work Sunday. I feel bad for you. You shouldn't do that. You had to work 7 o'clock at night. You shouldn't do that. Feel bad for you. None of the people that won at the highest levels ever were giving me that. As a matter of fact, the people that I followed at the highest levels were humbling me, telling me, I did that for decades. Coaches telling me we played a game on Saturday and we were in the film room the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's what it took to win a national championship. Sometimes I had to meet with players at midnight. The people that knew what it took to win at the highest levels would be the ones that would provide me encouragement to do the work with consistency, with sacrifice, and understood that there's a price that needed to be paid. And the folks that had never been to that level before were the ones that were saying, don't do that. You're working too much. You're working too hard. And again, can you take it too far and get extreme? Yes, if you're not doing what I told you to do. You look at your schedule, you put the big rocks in, you make sure those things get done, you make sure you take care of yourself. But after that, cut the excuses. The price ain't going to get any cheaper. It's only going to get more expensive the longer you wait, the older you get. Everybody in the country talk about inflation, but nobody's telling you inflation's happening to you with the work that you're not putting in also. The cheapest it's ever going to be for you to do the work is right now. It's not going to be cheaper 10 years from today. It's going to be more expensive. Trendsetters and leaders are always going to be misunderstood by the crowd. Most people that change the world are looked at as they're weird. So don't get accustomed to making decisions based on what's popular. Be independent. Do what's right for you. Do what's right for your team. I tell my daughter sometimes, I try to encourage her, hey, if 30 people are going one way and you know the other way is the right way to go by yourself if you have to, and let other people follow you. Most of your dreams are going to be accomplished by 1% of America. You got to remind yourself, so you can't expect the other 99% to understand. Or 5% of America. You can't expect the other 95% to understand. And so you got to be able to stand on your own too. Don't go with the crowd. Going with the crowd is going to get you what the crowd gets. I tell the young people, you got to give up some clubbing on Fridays or clubbing on Saturdays. Can't tell you how many times Friday nights I was in bed at 10 o'clock, 22, 23, 24 years old. Because I had to get up and work on Saturday. Weird. All the people my age partying, having fun, enjoying themselves. But if you go with the crowd, you're going to get what the crowd gets. Make sure if you're following a crowd, you're following a crowd of winners. You're following a crowd of leaders. Try to get with people that are on the same type of journey that you're on. You got to get away from friends and get away from others that are pulling you down if you're trying to go up. Be an individual, be a leader. Don't go with the crowd. If this helps you in any way, shape, or form, do us a favor. Share it, like it, comment, share it with your friends, family, people that we can impact together. We're all in this together in the GRINDcast family, in the GRINDcast studio. We appreciate you for joining us. Hope you have a good week. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.